Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to share with you guys an easy kind of go-to full coverage but natural looking foundation and concealer routine. I'm going to share with you some products that give exceptional coverage but give a very natural finish and give so much longevity. So you're going to have long wearing foundation. You're going to have a foundation that gives great coverage, but it's not going to feel heavy or it's not going to look heavy. It's not going to magnify texture, fine lines, wrinkles, pores, all of that, which is kind of the name of the game when you are over 35. So I've partnered up with Lancome for this video, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys my current favorite Lancome concealer. Well, I should even remove the word Lancome, just my current favorite concealer at the moment, which is the new Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. And then we're also going to be applying the Tint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. I've got two shades here, but I'm going to kind of show you what shades I go between. So I'm going to show you guys kind of just an easy foundation routine, so you don't have to worry about your makeup looking, shiny or cakey throughout the day. You're gonna apply it in the morning, you're gonna feel confident, and you're gonna look great all day. So let's get started. So I did already apply my moisturizer, but I'm gonna add a very small sheer layer of the Lancome Youth Activating Concentrate, really under my eyes and around my cheeks. This is gonna kind of work as a little bit of a primer and just to rehydrate the skin before I go and put foundation. I'm gonna rub it between my fingers. This is a very, very lightweight serum. It is not a cream, it is not a lotion, it is a lightweight serum. So I'm just gonna kind of press this under the eyes too. It has a very nice, it feels cool to my skin right now. I'm gonna put this under the eyes. Since I am working with more of a natural matte foundation and concealer, it helps to add a little bit of hydration, but you don't wanna use anything too heavy or thick because you don't want it to interfere with the makeup. So now that I've got that applied, I'm gonna go in first with my foundation. And sometimes you guys will see me, oftentimes actually, I'll use concealer, first and then go in with foundation. But particularly when I'm trying to get a lot of coverage, but I don't want a lot of product on my skin, I like to go in with foundation first. And the reason for that being is that you tend to use less concealer than you actually need if you conceal and cover the face up first with foundation. So you're likely, I'll say it again, you're likely to overdo the concealer if you go in first. So I'm gonna go in foundation. And I have two shades here. I have 310 Bisque Cool and 320 Bisque Warm. And I'm gonna actually use the Bisque Warm. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so I'm gonna show you actually the two to compare. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go in with the Bisque Warm, but I will show you the two next to each other so you guys can see. Okay, so right here I have the warm, Bisque Warm 320, and then right here I have the Bisque Cool. So Bisque Warm is a little more golden, it's a little bit deeper, so we're gonna go in with that shade today. So this is the consistency of the foundation. You can see that it's got a nice consistency. It's not liquidy and watery, but it's not thick either. It's getting some movement down my hand. So this is a 24-hour full coverage foundation with a natural matte finish. It's said to be very lightweight and very breathable on the skin. Now, I don't wear my makeup for 24 hours, but I like that, if I ever find myself needing to, it will last. So I always start in the center of my face because that is where I tend to have the most discoloration on the skin. Now, I just grabbed a little bit on my brush and I'm just kind of bouncing this in the center of my face and then bringing it out here to the perimeter of my face. You notice I'm not yet buffing in circles, I'm not pulling, I'm just bouncing it. This technique is gonna give me the most coverage that I can get from a foundation. And this foundation is blending out so easy. I mean, before I even start to buff it or blend it in, it's kind of just disappeared into my skin. It's the perfect shade. This foundation also comes in 50 shades. It is oil-free and non-comedogenic and fragrance-free. I love this foundation because it's also sweat-proof, transfer-resistant, and humidity-proof. And you guys know I am in Texas, so I'm not in like the most humid part of Texas. I'm not in Houston, but it is so hot and humid in Austin. Like, not even the summer. It's like 9 months out of the year hot here. So that is why I'm always looking for long wear natural matte foundations. But as I get older, I have to really choose natural matte foundations and not more flat matte foundations because those tend to kind of just make the skin look flat, kind of take the life out of the skin, and they can also accentuate texture because the skin tends to look a little drier. So I always recommend going with a very lightweight natural matte foundation. Oh, that looks so good. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit closer. Okay, so I've applied it on the cheeks. I still need to apply some on my nose and on my forehead. When you are really focusing on the skin take your time. I remember when I was younger, I would like spend so much time on my eye makeup and I would just rush through my skin and my foundation. And now I feel like the opposite is true. I spend so much time blending out and perfecting the skin, getting that right amount of coverage while still looking natural. And I don't feel like I need so much on the eyes. Oh, this feels good. You can tell I'm tired when I like start to drift off when I'm buffing foundation into the skin. Okay, so I've got about the amount of coverage that I want and need. I have a little friend that joined me yesterday, and I will use the concealer to conceal that. But you can see that I still have a little bit of foundation on the hand. I didn't even use a full pump for this. So what I love about this formula is it really blends out nicely. You know, you can use a little bit and it's gonna cover a lot of area on the face if you work it in. So love that. Okay, so let's talk about this concealer. I have already been sharing a lot about this concealer over the last few months. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer, and I now have two shades of this. I have 260 and I have 250, and either one will work for me. Today I'm going to use the 260. It is the Bisque Neutral, and then I have Bisque Warm here. I am going to conceal right here on this pimple here that I have. It's a little bit red. It's not too bad. What I love about this concealer is it's extremely lightweight. It's also very hydrating. For being a natural matte concealer, if you can get like natural matte, hydrating, and lightweight in a concealer, it's like, you know, what more could you ask for, I think. So I'm gonna go in with this. I also love the wand on this concealer because it has like a little bit of a flat tip there. It's pretty large, so it's not too large though. It works under the eye, but it also works great for the face if you like to bring it on the face. And typically I'm not someone that puts a lot of concealer on the face, but when you have a formula that's this lightweight, you can. So I'm gonna use that on that little pimple. I'm gonna let it sit for a second too. That's gonna give it time to kind of dry down a little bit to help me get more coverage. And I'm gonna take it right in here, and then I'm also gonna take it a little bit here. If you want a little more coverage, you can certainly bring it down. Again, this concealer is so lightweight that it's kind of hard to overdo it. It really is. Next, I'm gonna go in with a sponge, and I'm going to kind of lightly, I'm very, very light tapping that blemish, because what I want to do is I want to cover it, but I don't want to remove all the product that I have there, right? Just want a little coverage, and you don't really have to put much pressure to blend it out. Okay, next let's go in and blend under the eye. This concealer, it also doesn't cake or crease on me. It is sweat resistant, and it's so blendable. Like I'm spending a lot more time here than I need to. I like it because it's a concealer that you can wear with like a full face of makeup if you're going for that really like, if you're really glamming it up. But sometimes I'll even throw a little bit of this and my tinted moisturizer on, and that'll be all I use for the day. I'll use a little bit more on the face, but I won't go in with a foundation. Okay, so now it's time to set the foundation and concealer, and I'm pulling out an oldie but a goodie. It is the Lancome Long Time No Shine powder. I purchased this when this launched. What was that? Was it a couple years ago, right? I love this powder. It is like an ultra mattifying loose powder without making the skin look dry, without accentuating texture. It is going to blur and minimize pores, at least it does that on me. Now I don't like to use a lot of this powder. You don't need a lot of this powder, so I'm using a brush, you know, that has a nice fluff to it. It's gonna have a little bit more precision, so it's not like a big powder brush, you know, it's not like a large powder brush, it's something much smaller. And the way that I like to apply powder is I like to just press it onto the skin. I always start under the eyes first, just to set that concealer, and then I'll bring it on my cheeks, and you can literally see the texture and the pores just totally smooth out. This also really mattes things down, but keeps a smooth look to the skin. Also, when you press with your brush like this, like with setting powder, this is gonna help just not disrupt the foundation. And it's not really something you have to worry about with this particular foundation, but if you're using a cream or a more hydrating, like luminous foundation, if you sweep, you can often kind of move the foundation around. So just getting in the habit of pressing powder onto your skin is really gonna set your foundation without disrupting it. It might take a little bit longer, but again, we are here to spend a little more time. Oh my gosh, perfect. Love, love, love. So the skin looks flawless, full coverage, doesn't look heavy, very matte. I think my texture and my pores look blurred. So I'm gonna warm up the cheeks a little bit, and I'm just using kind of a soft bronzer that has a little bit of a sheen to it. I'm not using anything with a lot of glitter, but it's not a flat matte bronzer. Since the skin is really matte, I'm going back in and intentionally adding a little bit of lightness and highlight to the skin. I find this is how I like to really achieve that perfect controlled glow, you know, that controlled glow where you don't get a completely flat matte skin, but you control shine and oil throughout the day by using a long wear natural matte foundation, but then you go in and you place that subtle glow with products like your bronzer or your blush. I'm also adding a like baked mineralized blush that has a tiny bit of a sheen to it. I'm just gonna kind of smile as my guide and then kind of pull back and up. So I'm gonna throw on a little bit of eyeshadow and I'll be right back. So I have the eyes really soft. I just took a like taupe bronzy cream shadow stick, smudged it on my lids, blended it out with my finger, and then added a little bit of my bronzer in my crease. Next, I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna skip eyeliner today. I just want a very soft, sheer look on the eyes. I'm gonna go in with Lancome's mascara primer, and this is such a great product. I always use a mascara primer because it conditions your lashes, so it not only intensifies the results in your mascara, giving you more volume and length, but it actually is like good for your lashes. It conditions them, strengthens them. So when you use it over time, continuously, it improves the quality of your lashes. This product has microfibers in it. It's also infused with vitamin B5 and vitamin E. And then last for the eyes, I'm gonna go in with the Monsieur Big Mascara from Lancome. I love so many Lancome mascaras, but this is probably my favorite. It gives such dramatic lashes. I read that it like gives up to 12 times more volume in your lashes. It gives a very like false lash look if you build it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I like to start at the root of my lash, and I always like to close my eyes and wiggle it back and forth and then pull up. When I was a makeup artist, this was the easiest way to apply mascara on people, because as you can imagine, applying mascara on someone doesn't always go as you'd hope. But if you have them closed, they're more comfortable. It also allows you as an artist to get right in the root of the lash and pull it up. So I started doing it on myself, and I noticed that my lashes would always get more volume, and the mascara just applied a lot more beautifully that way. So try that. Just place it at the root, close your eye, wiggle it back and forth, and then pull up. And you just really need to do that when you first get the product on the lash. Once you've gotten all the product that you want, then you can kind of open it up and you can kind of fan them out and finish them however you like. Now I like to have a very like dramatic upper lash line and a softer lower lash line. So I will not spend as nearly the amount of time on my lower lashes. In fact, I'll just do one quick little swipe. Oh, that mascara is just amazing. So nice. So this is the finished look. I love it. This is a total Lisa J go-to look for myself. You know, I love to glam it up, but even on the days that I don't want to wear a lot of makeup, I still love to put myself together. And I think that this look is great for, you know, the makeup fanatic that wants a lighter day, and then also someone that's just getting started in makeup that doesn't want a whole lot of fuss or a whole lot of steps, wants something easy, but wants to look like they took the time. And I think this look achieves that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me any questions you have. I'd also love to hear what you learned from this video. If you learned anything, a little tip, a little trick, let me know. That is what I enjoy reading the most in the comments section. Thank you guys for your time, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.